All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here, and today we're getting to look at a really cool watch. This is actually a prototype watch. This watch is getting ready to launch on a Kickstarter campaign here very soon. This is the MAS Irukandji. Now, this is a really cool watch, a little different watch. Now, these guys are out of Australia. MAS is Matthew and Sons. Matthew just got this company rolling here within the last year. 2019 was their launch. And him and his young son, Tate. Hey, Tate, how's it going out there, bud? They are putting these watches together, and they've done a really, really good job. I love what they're doing here with this Irukandji. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with what an Irukandji is, it's one of the most poisonous small jellyfish off the coast of Australia, and probably very similar to like a man of war or something like that, I would assume. But very cool looking watch here, and the whole idea of the watch comes from the Irukandji, and we'll kind of get into that as we look at the watch. So real quick, like you guys can see that I have the blue model here. There's a few different colorways, actually quite a few different colorways available out there, and that they're planning to make as they release these watches. But I was lucky enough to take a look at the blue one, and being a Dodgers fan, there's nothing wrong with that. But really cool layout here on this watch. You guys can see the neat crown over here at the 10 o'clock position. This watch is running the Seiko NH35 movement, 24 joules, 21,600 vibrations per hour, and about a 40-hour power reserve. Also gives you a date window over here at the 3 o'clock position. Nice sunburst blue dial on this watch. Large lume plots, as you can see there at the 12, 6, and 9 o'clock position, of course, open for that date window there. But really cool looking layout on this watch. Your typical round plots at the other positions. Nice, clean Baton style hands. Now, this watch does have quite a bit of lume on it, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about it before the lume shot or when we get into the lume shot. Ceramic bezel insert on this watch, which is also loomed. Like I said, the crown at the 10 o'clock position, and it is a signed crown on this watch. Now, as you can see from the side, the watch has a really interesting case design, and again, that's kind of based off the idea of designing this watch off that Irukandji jellyfish. So you've got a 42 millimeter case down here at the bottom from side to side, but it tapers to 40 at the bezel, which is kind of interesting. 15.2 millimeters of thickness is what I measured on this watch. 40, I think it's 46. You know what? Let me get the caliper going here and we'll measure that. I think it came in at 46 lug to lug or 47. So it's really, really wearable. Yeah, 46 lug to lug. And it is a little chunky at 14.8, right about 15 millimeters of thickness. I didn't get the lug, so let me check that real quick. It looks like 20 millimeter lug openings on this watch. So cool design here. These are going to come on these nylon straps, as you can see, and they are quick release, as I can show you there on the back. Now, here on the back of the case back, you guys can see that's the Irukandji jellyfish, and you can see it's smaller at the top, larger down here where the tentacles come out. And basically that's the idea here behind the case. You've got this wider case down here at the bottom where it tapers up to the top of the bezel here, and then these nice sweeping lugs kind of mimic the lugs, and the band kind of mimic the stingers there on the jellyfish. So I think that's really a neat concept. 316L stainless steel. They are running a sapphire, obviously a domed sapphire crystal. You can see these are going to be 200 meters of water resistance, and like I said, running that trusty NH35 movement from Seiko. So nice buckle here on the watch, signed MAS for Matthew and Son watches, but very nicely done watch. Go ahead and let you guys hear the bezel action. Now, even for a prototype model, I have to tell you, this has pretty nice bezel action. He did mention that they're going to clean that up. They're going to do some stuff to the lume on the watch. What it is, and I will do a lume shot at the end, but what it is a lot of times when you're doing a prototype like this, and you're working with a dial manufacturer, bezel manufacturer is going to put lume on it. Just for the prototype model, sometimes you'll really only have them like possibly lume like one indice on the bezel, and maybe apply a few different coats of different types of lume to the hands and the dials, so that you can kind of see what you want to go with on your finished product. So it's a efficient way of doing it, but it does make kind of lume shots for stuff like this a little funny, but we'll definitely check it out. So cool watch here. I'm going to go ahead and pause it and get this watch on my 7-inch wrist. Okay, so the watch wears really comfortably. 42 millimeters is always a good size for me, and it's interesting the way it sits on the wrist. It wears really well at the wrist, but then it tapers up to this smaller dial on top and bezel, but very nice looks here. Wears really well. Is a chunky monkey, as you guys can see looking at from the side there, but I think that really adds to the allure of the watch, and it's in the design. It's in the design concept of what they wanted to achieve here. Now, I call these Baton style hands, but they almost look like more like batons with the syringe tips or a pencil tip on them. Really neat looking hand design on this watch. Really nice job, Matthew and Tate. You guys picked out some good hands there. So let me pause it and let's go ahead and get some light on this, and I'll show you the lume. And I'll show you what I was talking about, how these prototype models get put together. Okay, so I'm not in complete darkness, which isn't going to help a whole lot. But yeah, a lot of times, like I said, they will loom different parts of these watches in different manners, just so that the buyer or the guy making the watches can see what he's going to get with different loom styles. So you can see there, yeah, like I said, there's like one loom plot over here, and I think one up here that's loomed on the bezel. This will be fully loomed when they come out in the production models. And then you can see they've done two different loom colors on the watch. Compared to the hands versus the indices. So gives them an idea. But as you can see, I mean, loom is applied heavily nowadays, so I'm sure the Irukandji is going to be a loom monster. But very, very cool watches here from Matthew and Son Watches. Again, guys, great job out there in Australia. I'll leave a link down below to their website and where you can jump on over to the Kickstarter campaign. It's not live yet, but they are starting to take suggestions over there. Matthew really wants to hear from you guys as far as these watches and what you want to see in them. So, all right, guys, that's the video on the MAS Irukandji diver that's coming out in this next year. Very cool watch. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. And if you've not subscribed yet to the OFD channel yet, please do. Please do. Thanks, guys.